The strongest people are not the ones everyone talks about. They are the ones who stop chasing attention and quietly build a life that cannot be ignored. What if the biggest reason your life is not moving forward is not a lack of talent, money, or opportunity? What if it is the time and energy you keep giving to people who are not helping you grow? Every time you chase someone's attention, you lose a little focus on your own future. Every time you wait for someone to choose you, you delay becoming the person you were meant to be. In this video, you will discover why real greatness is built in silence, why the people who grow the most rarely need approval, and how small daily choices can completely change your confidence, your habits, and your life. If you are tired of feeling overlooked, tired of giving more than you receive, and ready to become someone who stands strong without depending on anyone's validation, then stay until the end. Because today is the day you stop chasing people and start building the greatest version of yourself. Chapter 1. Stop looking for your worth in others. Most people never say these words out loud, but they feel them every single day. They wonder why they are not getting the attention they hoped for. They wonder why someone stopped calling. They wonder why their hard work goes unnoticed. They wonder why they always seem to be the one making the effort, while everyone else keeps walking away. That quiet pain changes the way people think. It makes them believe their value depends on who accepts them. It makes them believe that if more people liked them, they would finally feel enough. But that belief is one of the biggest reasons people stay stuck. The day you begin measuring your value by another person's attention is the day you hand over control of your happiness. One of the greatest changes you can make in your life is to stop asking the world to tell you who you are. People are busy living their own lives. They have their own worries. They have their own goals. Their opinion of you changes from one day to another. If you build your confidence on something that changes every day, then your confidence will change every day too. That is an exhausting way to live. You deserve something stronger than that. You deserve a confidence that comes from the promises you keep to yourself and the work you do when nobody is watching. Many people spend years trying to be accepted. They change how they speak. They change what they enjoy. They stay quiet when they should speak. They agree when they should disagree. They give more than they receive because they hope one day people will finally appreciate them. But appreciation that must be earned by giving away your true self is never enough. Every time you ignore your own needs just to keep someone else happy, you slowly teach yourself that your feelings matter less. After doing that long enough, you begin to forget who you really are. Real growth starts with one honest decision. Stop asking whether people see your value. Start asking whether you are building value every single day. Those are two completely different questions. One depends on others, the other depends on you. That simple change can transform your entire life. Every book you read, every skill you learn, every promise you keep, every morning you wake up with purpose, every difficult choice you make instead of taking the easy road. Those moments build a person who no longer needs constant approval because they know exactly what they are becoming. Think about how much energy people waste checking who replied to their message, or who liked their post, or who remembered their birthday. Hours disappear chasing small signs that somebody cares. Imagine taking that same time and putting it into learning a new skill. Imagine reading 10 pages every day instead of waiting for someone to notice you. Imagine exercising instead of wondering why someone ignored you. Imagine improving your work instead of trying to impress people who may never support your journey. Your life begins to change the moment your attention changes. There is something peaceful about becoming busy with your own growth. Your mind becomes quieter. You stop comparing yourself every hour. You stop feeling disappointed because someone forgot about you. You begin to enjoy seeing your own progress. You notice that your discipline is improving. You notice that your thinking is becoming clearer. You notice that your habits are making you stronger. Those victories are small at first, but they grow over time. They create confidence that cannot be taken away because it was earned through action, not compliments. Remember this. The people who truly respect themselves do not spend every day trying to prove their worth. They spend their days improving it. They understand that respect begins inside before it ever appears outside. They know that becoming valuable is more important than appearing valuable. Many people spend their lives trying to look successful. Very few spend their lives becoming successful. There is a huge difference. One is built for attention. The other is built for a lifetime. There will be moments when nobody notices your effort. Nobody congratulates you. Nobody thanks you. Nobody understands why you are working so hard. Those moments test your character. They reveal whether you are working for applause or working for your future. If your only reason for growing is to hear people praise you, then you will quit when the praise disappears. But if your reason is to become the person you know you can be, then you will keep going whether anyone is watching or not. You must become careful about where you place your emotional energy. Every minute spent trying to convince someone to see your value is a minute you could have spent increasing your value. You cannot control who believes in you today. You can control what you learn today. You cannot control who supports your dream. You can control how seriously you prepare for it. You cannot control who walks away. You can control whether you continue moving forward. That is where real power lives. It lives inside the choices you make every day. Sometimes the hardest person to convince is yourself. You may look in the mirror and only see your mistakes. You may remember every failure. You may believe you are behind everyone else. But your future does not depend on where you are standing today. It depends on what you decide to do next. Every great life is built one decision at a time. One better habit, one better conversation, one better morning, one better choice repeated until it becomes part of who you are. Stop looking at other people as the answer to your emptiness. No person can give you lasting confidence if you have not built it inside yourself. Relationships become healthier when they are built between two complete people, instead of two people searching for someone else to complete them. Your responsibility is to become stronger mentally, become wiser, become more disciplined, become kinder, become someone who respects their own word. That kind of person attracts respect naturally because people recognize real character even when nothing is being said. The beautiful part of this journey is that it happens quietly. You do not need to announce every improvement. You do not need everyone to understand your goals. You simply keep showing up, day after day, choice after choice. You keep building your knowledge. You keep strengthening your habits. You keep improving your attitude. Months later, people notice something different. They see more confidence in your eyes. They hear more certainty in your voice. They notice more peace in the way you carry yourself. They wonder what changed. What changed was not the world around you. What changed was the decision you made to stop looking for your worth in others and start building it inside yourself every single day. That decision is where quiet greatness begins. Chapter 2. Take your time back from wrong people. One of the biggest reasons people stop growing is not because they lack talent. It is because they keep giving their best hours to the wrong people. They wake up thinking about someone else's mood. They spend the afternoon fixing someone else's problems. They go to sleep replaying conversations that cannot change tomorrow. Little by little, their own goals are pushed aside. Their own dreams are delayed. Their own future becomes something they promise to work on later. But later has a way of becoming next month and next year. One day they look back and wonder why their life feels the same. The answer is often simple. They were always available for everyone except themselves. There is nothing wrong with caring about people. Kindness is a strength. Loyalty is a strength. Helping others is a strength. But there is a difference between helping someone and giving away your life. If every day ends with you feeling empty, while someone else keeps taking more from you, then something needs to change. A healthy relationship leaves room for both people to grow. An unhealthy one slowly takes your time, your peace, and your confidence until you no longer recognize the person you used to be. Many people stay connected to the wrong crowd because they are afraid of being alone. They believe any company is better than quiet moments with themselves. But think about that carefully. If someone constantly distracts you from your goals, fills your mind with doubt, or keeps pulling you into unnecessary drama, then their presence is not making your life better. It is simply keeping you busy. Being busy is not the same as making progress. A full schedule can still produce an empty future if it is filled with the wrong things. Jim Rohn often reminded people that the direction of your life is shaped by the choices you make every day. One of the most important choices is deciding who deserves your attention. Every person you spend time with influences the way you think. Some people challenge you to become wiser. Others encourage you to stay comfortable. Some inspire you to work harder. Others make excuses sound normal. If you stay around people who accept average effort, you will slowly begin accepting it too. That change happens quietly. You rarely notice it while it is happening. You only notice it after months or years have passed. Take an honest look at the conversations you have every week. Do they leave you feeling hopeful or exhausted? Do they encourage you to improve or keep you focused on complaints? Do they help you solve problems or create new ones? These questions matter because your mind is always listening. Whatever you hear again and again becomes familiar. Whatever becomes familiar slowly begins to shape your thinking. Protecting your mind starts with protecting what you allow into it every day. Some people expect you to always be available. They call only when they need something. They disappear when you need support. They ask for your advice but ignore it. They borrow your time without respecting it. You do not have to become angry with these people. You simply have to become honest. Your life deserves better boundaries. Saying no is not being selfish. Sometimes saying no is the most responsible decision you can make, because every no to the wrong person becomes a yes to your own future. There is great power in deciding how your day begins. Instead of reaching for your phone, the moment you wake up, spend that first hour investing in yourself. Read something that teaches you. Write down your goals. Exercise your body. Sit quietly and think about the kind of person you want to become. Those simple actions may not look impressive to other people, but they slowly build a stronger mind. The quality of your mornings often decides the quality of your future, because they set the direction for everything that follows. You do not need to explain every change you make. If you decide to spend less time with people who waste your energy, you do not need to argue with them. Your actions will speak clearly enough. Spend more evenings learning instead of scrolling through endless conversations. Spend more weekends building skills instead of joining activities that leave you feeling empty. Spend more time with people who celebrate growth instead of those who laugh at it. Quiet decisions often create the biggest changes. Do not confuse guilt with responsibility. Some people will try to make you feel guilty for focusing on your own life. They became comfortable with having unlimited access to your time. When that access changes, they may not understand it. That is not your problem to solve. Your responsibility is to become the best version of yourself. The people who truly care about you will respect that decision because they want to see you succeed, not remain stuck. Think about the future you want. Picture yourself 5 years from now. The person you hope to become will need knowledge, discipline, good health, emotional strength, and useful skills. None of those things appear by accident. They grow through daily effort. Every hour you protect today becomes another brick in the foundation of that future. Every distraction you remove creates space for something more valuable. Every healthy choice strengthens your ability to keep moving forward. There is also another truth many people avoid. Sometimes the wrong people are not bad people. They are simply not the right people for the direction your life is taking. Not every friendship is meant to last forever. Not every relationship should continue exactly as it started. People grow. Priorities change. Dreams become different. Holding on to every connection out of habit can stop you from becoming who you are meant to be. Respect the memories you shared, but do not sacrifice your future trying to keep every chapter of your past alive. Your greatest investment is not a business or a bank account. It is your attention. Wherever your attention goes, your life follows. Give your attention to learning, and you become wiser. Give your attention to discipline, and you become stronger. Give your attention to meaningful work, and your future becomes brighter. Give your attention to endless drama and unnecessary conflict, and those things become your daily reality. Your attention is shaping your life every single day, whether you realize it or not. The most successful people are not always the busiest people. They are often the most careful about where they spend their time. They understand that every opportunity has a cost. Every hour spent in one place is an hour not spent somewhere else. They choose wisely because they know life is built one day at a time. They refused to let unnecessary distractions steal the years they can never get back. From this day forward, make one quiet promise to yourself. Stop giving your best energy to people who keep you standing still. Give that energy to your own character, your own knowledge, your own health, and your own purpose. Build a life that makes you proud, even if nobody notices it at first. Protect your time with courage. Protect your peace with wisdom. Protect your future with daily action. Years from now, you will not regret the conversations you missed. You will be grateful for the life you built because you finally decided that your time was too valuable to keep giving it away. Chapter 3. Build yourself while nobody pays attention. One of the hardest tests in life is continuing to improve when nobody is watching. It is easy to feel motivated when people are cheering for you. It is easy to stay excited when someone notices your effort or tells you that you are doing well. The real challenge begins when the room is quiet. The phone stays silent. Nobody asks about your progress. Nobody claps for the small steps you take. Those are the moments that reveal your true reason for growing. If your purpose depends on attention, your effort will disappear when the attention disappears. But if your purpose is to become a better person, you will keep moving because your future matters more than today's recognition. Many people stop too early because they think success should be visible from the beginning. They expect quick results. They want immediate proof that their hard work is paying off. When they do not see that proof, they begin to doubt themselves. They slow down, they lose focus, then they quit. They never realize that real growth usually happens long before anyone else can see it. Your thinking becomes stronger before your life looks different. Your habits improve before your results become obvious. Your character changes before people notice a change in your confidence. Growth always starts inside before it appears outside. Jim Rohn often spoke about becoming valuable instead of becoming popular. That lesson is more important today than ever. Many people spend hours trying to look successful while spending very little time becoming successful. They post every small achievement. They seek approval for every new idea. They wait for encouragement before taking another step. That approach builds dependence. A stronger path is learning to work, even when nobody knows what you are doing. Your future is built by the effort nobody applauds today. Imagine planting a seed in the ground. The first thing that happens is not something you can see. The work begins beneath the surface. The roots grow before the tree does. In the same way, your daily discipline builds the foundation of your future. Reading another chapter, practicing another skill, saving a little more money, waking up on time, keeping your promises to yourself. None of these actions create instant applause, but together they create a completely different person over time. There is a quiet confidence that comes from knowing you are keeping your word. Nobody may know that you exercised this morning. Nobody may know that you finished another book or learned another lesson after work. Nobody may know that you refused to waste another evening on habits that were holding you back. But you know, every time you do the right thing without needing recognition, you strengthen your self-respect. That feeling cannot be bought. It cannot be given by another person. It is earned through private victories. Do not underestimate the power of ordinary days. Many people are waiting for a special opportunity to change their lives. They believe everything will improve when the perfect moment arrives. But life rarely changes because of one dramatic event. It changes because of small decisions repeated consistently. One extra hour spent learning, one healthier meal, one difficult conversation handled with maturity, one excuse replaced with action. Those ordinary choices quietly shape an extraordinary future. You will sometimes feel like your effort is invisible. You may wonder if your work matters because nothing seems different yet. During those moments, remember that progress is not always loud. The strongest improvements often happen where nobody else can see them. Your patience becomes stronger. Your focus becomes sharper. Your ability to control your emotions improves. These changes prepare you for opportunities that would have been too difficult for the old version of you. When the opportunity finally arrives, people will think you became successful overnight. They will never see the months or years of preparation that made that moment possible. Another mistake many people make is comparing their beginning to someone else's middle. They look at people who have already built a successful life and feel discouraged because they are not there yet. Comparison steals energy that could have been used for growth. Every person has a different starting point. Your responsibility is not to compete with another person's timeline. Your responsibility is to become better than you were yesterday. That is a challenge you can win every single day. Protect your private time. It is easy to lose hours through endless distractions. One video becomes another. One unnecessary conversation becomes an entire evening. One excuse becomes another week without progress. Be honest about where your hours are going. The life you dream about will require focused effort. That effort cannot happen if every free moment is spent chasing entertainment. There is nothing wrong with resting, but there is a difference between healthy rest and escaping your responsibilities. The person you are becoming is shaped by what you repeatedly choose when nobody is telling you what to do. Freedom is a wonderful gift, but it also brings responsibility. When there is no teacher checking your work, will you still study? When there is no boss reminding you, will you still improve your skills? When nobody expects anything from you today, will you still expect something from yourself? These are the questions that determine your future. There will always be people who wait until circumstances become perfect before they begin. Do not become one of them. Start with what you have today. Use the knowledge you already possess. Improve the tools available to you. Learn from your mistakes instead of hiding from them. Every day you delay is another day your future remains exactly where it is. Every day you act brings that future one step closer. Do not worry if your progress feels slow. A slow improvement is still improvement. A small step taken every day will always carry you farther than waiting for a sudden breakthrough that may never come. Patience is not standing still. Patience is continuing to do the work, while trusting that the results will arrive at the right time. That mindset keeps you moving when many others stop. Your greatest competition is not another person. It is the version of yourself that chooses comfort over growth. Every morning you have the chance to make one better decision. Read instead of complaining. Practice instead of postponing. Listen instead of arguing. Learn instead of pretending you already know everything. These choices may seem small, but they create a life built on steady progress instead of empty promises. Years from now, the people around you may notice your confidence, your wisdom, your discipline, and your success. They may ask what changed. The answer will not be one lucky moment or one perfect opportunity. The answer will be simple. You decided to keep building yourself during the seasons when nobody was paying attention. While others waited for recognition before taking action, you quietly became stronger every single day. That silent commitment became the reason your life eventually spoke louder than your words ever could. Chapter 4. Stop sharing every move. Start doing more. There is a habit that quietly steals more dreams than most people realize. It is the habit of talking about the life you want instead of building it. Speaking about your plans feels exciting. Telling people about a new goal can make you feel as if you have already taken a step forward. For a few moments, you enjoy the feeling of progress, without actually making any progress. Then the conversation ends, the excitement fades, and your life stays exactly where it was. This happens every day. People announce what they are going to become, but very few wake up the next morning and do the work that makes those words true. He believed that your life changes because of disciplined action, not because of impressive conversations. Anyone can describe a better future. Anyone can say they are going to start exercising, save more money, learn a new skill, or build a business. Those words cost nothing. The price is paid later, when the alarm rings early, when your body feels tired, when your friends invite you to waste another evening, and when the results are still too small for anyone to notice. Character is built in those quiet moments, not during exciting announcements. Many people confuse movement with achievement. They spend hours discussing ideas, searching for opinions, asking everyone what they think, and explaining every new plan before the first piece of work is even finished. By the time they are ready to begin, Their energy has already been spent talking. Real progress requires a different approach. Spend less time describing your future and more time creating it. The fewer promises you make to the world, the more promises you can keep to yourself. Think about the strongest people you have ever met. Most of them are not constantly trying to convince others that they are improving. They do not need to remind everyone how hard they work. They simply continue showing up every day. Their habits become their reputation. Their consistency earns respect long before they ask for it. When people finally notice their success, it seems natural because it was built through steady effort instead of constant attention. There is another reason to protect your goals. Every opinion has the power to influence your thinking if you allow it. The moment you share every idea, you invite praise from some people and doubt from others. One encouraging comment can make you feel unstoppable. One negative comment can make you question everything. That is a dangerous way to live because your confidence begins to depend on reactions instead of conviction. Your vision deserves time to grow before it is tested by the opinions of people who may not understand where you are going. That does not mean you should never ask for advice. Wise people seek guidance from those who have earned the right to give it. There is a difference between learning from experience and asking everyone for approval. Find people who have built the kind of life you admire. Listen carefully, learn with humility, then return to your work. Advice becomes valuable only when it is followed by action. Many unfinished dreams began with too much talking and too little doing. A person buys a notebook and immediately tells 10 friends about the book they are going to write. Another signs up for a class and starts speaking as if the skill has already been mastered. Someone decides to improve their health and spends more time discussing the plan than following it. Days pass, weeks pass. Nothing changes because words alone never create results. Progress belongs to those who stay committed after the excitement disappears. Give yourself permission to work quietly. You do not need to post every lesson you learn. You do not need to tell people about every early morning or every late night spent improving your future. There is something deeply satisfying about looking back after 6 months and realizing your life has changed because of choices only you knew about. Private discipline creates public results. It may take time, but time rewards people who remain faithful to the work. One of the greatest forms of self-respect is becoming someone whose actions can always be trusted. Imagine making fewer promises but keeping every one of them. Imagine setting a goal and quietly working until it becomes reality. That habit builds confidence because every completed task becomes evidence that you can depend on yourself. Confidence grows when your actions and your words begin to match. It becomes even stronger when your actions begin speaking long before your words do. There will always be pressure to make your life look impressive. The world often rewards appearances before it rewards substance. Do not let that distract you. Looking successful and becoming successful are two completely different paths. One demands constant attention, the other demands daily commitment. One depends on being seen, the other depends on becoming stronger, wiser, and more capable every single day. Choose the second path. It may seem slower, but it produces a life that lasts. Ask yourself an honest question. At the end of each day, what matters more? The number of people who heard about your plans, or the amount of work you actually completed? Your future will never be shaped by conversations alone. It will always be shaped by the effort you invested when nobody was keeping score. Every page you read, every skill you practice, every difficult task you finish, and every distraction you refuse becomes part of the person you are creating. There is also freedom in keeping some dreams private. You stop feeling the need to prove yourself. You stop chasing quick approval. Your attention returns to the only place where real change happens, which is your daily routine. Instead of wondering what people think about your goals, you become focused on today's responsibilities. That shift removes unnecessary pressure and allows you to enjoy the process instead of constantly waiting for recognition. Your life does not improve because people believe in your potential. It improves because you honor your responsibilities. Small actions repeated over months have more power than exciting speeches repeated for years. Success is built through ordinary choices made with extraordinary consistency. Those choices rarely attract attention in the beginning, but they create a future that cannot be ignored. As you continue this journey, make a simple commitment. Speak less about what you hope to accomplish and spend more time accomplishing it. Replace long explanations with quiet discipline. Replace public promises with private consistency. Replace the desire to impress people with the desire to improve yourself. When your habits become stronger than your need for attention, your life begins to move in a new direction. One day, people will notice the change, not because you announced it, but because your character, your knowledge, your confidence, and your results have become impossible to overlook. That is the kind of success worth building, because it is earned through action and protected by humility. Chapter 5. Grow so much they feel the difference. One day the people who overlooked you may look at your life with surprise. Not because you argued with them, not because you tried to prove them wrong. They notice because something about you is no longer the same. Your thinking is calmer, your decisions are wiser, your confidence feels natural, your work carries more quality. You speak with purpose, instead of reacting to every situation. They cannot always explain what changed, but they can feel it. That kind of change is the result of steady personal growth. It never comes from chasing attention. It comes from becoming a different person one day at a time. He often taught that if you want your life to improve, you must improve yourself. That idea sounds simple, yet very few people truly live by it. Most people want better results without becoming better prepared. They want more respect without developing stronger character. They hope for bigger opportunities without building greater discipline. Life does not usually work that way. The rewards you receive are often connected to the person you have become. When your value increases, your opportunities begin to increase as well. Stop asking yourself why people do not recognize your effort. Start asking whether your effort is helping you become stronger than you were 6 months ago. That question changes everything. Personal growth is not a competition against someone else. It is a commitment to never remain the same. Every lesson you learn gives you another tool. Every challenge you overcome gives you greater strength. Every difficult season teaches you something that comfort never could. Those experiences shape a person who carries quiet confidence because they know what they have survived. There will be seasons when your progress feels invisible. You may wake up early every morning, stay consistent with your goals, and still feel like nothing is changing. Do not mistake slow progress for no progress. A person who reads every day may not feel smarter after 1 chapter, but after 100 chapters, their thinking becomes completely different. A person who saves a small amount every week may not feel wealthier immediately, but over time those small choices create financial stability. Lasting change is usually built through patient effort rather than dramatic moments. Many people become frustrated because they expect one decision to transform everything. They wait for a perfect opportunity, one lucky break, or one conversation that changes their future. Real success is much quieter than that. It grows through repeated choices. You choose to stay honest when dishonesty would be easier. You choose to finish what you started when quitting feels comfortable. You choose to learn instead of making excuses. Those decisions seem ordinary at first, but together they build an extraordinary life. Another important truth is that growth changes the way you respond to people. Years ago, you may have reacted to criticism with anger. You may have argued over every disagreement. You may have carried disappointment for weeks because of one person's opinion. As you mature, those habits begin to disappear. You realize that protecting your peace is more valuable than winning every argument. You understand that not every opinion deserves your attention. Emotional maturity becomes one of the clearest signs that your life is moving in the right direction. People often notice your attitude before they notice your achievements. They see that you no longer complain about every problem. They hear that your conversations are filled with ideas instead of excuses. They recognize that you keep your word. These qualities earn trust because they reveal who you are beneath the surface. Success built only on appearance can disappear quickly. Success built on character continues growing because it has a strong foundation. Your daily habits quietly introduce you before your words ever do. If you arrive prepared, people notice. If you treat others with respect, people remember. If you stay calm under pressure, people begin trusting your judgment. These are not qualities that appear overnight. They are built through repeated practice. Every day gives you another chance to strengthen them. Never underestimate how much influence a disciplined life can have on those around you. One mistake many people make is believing that growth is only about learning new skills. Skills matter, but your attitude matters just as much. A talented person with a poor attitude often loses opportunities. An average person with honesty, consistency, humility, and determination often continues moving forward. Your mindset decides how you respond when life becomes difficult. It determines whether failure becomes a lesson or an excuse to stop trying. Developing the right attitude may be one of the greatest investments you ever make. There is also something powerful about becoming less interested in proving yourself. As your confidence grows, your need for validation begins to fade. You stop feeling the urge to explain every decision. You stop worrying about who approves of your path. You become focused on living according to your values instead of chasing applause. That freedom allows you to think more clearly because your choices are no longer controlled by fear of rejection. Growth also changes the people you naturally attract into your life. As your standards rise, your relationships often change as well. You begin enjoying conversations with people who challenge your thinking instead of feeding your distractions. You value honesty over empty compliments. You appreciate people who encourage responsibility instead of encouraging excuses. Healthy relationships become easier to recognize because your own character has become healthier. There will always be someone who doubts your ability. There will always be people who remember the person you used to be instead of the person you are becoming. Do not waste your energy trying to convince them. Keep improving, keep learning, keep practicing. Time has a way of revealing genuine change. Eventually, your consistency becomes stronger evidence than any explanation you could ever give. As you continue building your life, remember that your greatest victory is not making other people impressed. Your greatest victory is becoming someone you deeply respect. That feeling cannot be taken away, because it comes from knowing you earned it. You know the sacrifices you made. You know the mornings you stayed committed when motivation was low. You know the difficult decisions that shaped your character. Those private moments become the source of lasting confidence. The goal is not to make people jealous. The goal is not to make people regret how they treated you. Those thoughts keep your attention trapped in the past. Build a future that excites you instead. Become wiser than you were yesterday. Become stronger than last year. Become more disciplined than last month. Allow your life to improve so steadily that the difference becomes impossible to ignore. People may eventually notice your success, but what truly matters is that you become the kind of person who no longer depends on their attention. Your growth will speak through your choices, your character, and the peaceful confidence that comes from knowing you never stopped building yourself. Chapter 6. Spend more time fixing yourself than others. One of the easiest habits to develop is noticing what other people should change. It takes very little effort to point out someone else's mistakes. You can criticize the way they speak, the choices they make, the goals they ignore, or the opportunities they waste. But none of those observations improve your own life. While your attention stays fixed on another person's weaknesses, your own strengths remain undeveloped. The direction of your future is not decided by the problems in someone else's life. It is decided by what you choose to improve within yourself every single day. Many people spend years waiting for someone else to change before they allow themselves to become happy. They think life will improve when a family member behaves differently, when a friend becomes more supportive, when a partner becomes more understanding, or when a coworker becomes easier to deal with. That way of thinking gives away too much power. Your peace should never depend completely on another person's decisions. You cannot control another human being. You can only control the way you respond, the habits you practice, and the standards you choose to live by. There is something deeply honest about looking at yourself without making excuses. It is not always comfortable. You may discover habits that are holding you back. You may realize that you have been delaying important work. You may notice that fear has been making too many decisions for you. Those discoveries can be difficult, but they are also valuable because they give you something real to work on. Growth begins with honesty. A person who refuses to face the truth cannot create meaningful change. Think about how much energy is lost through unnecessary judgment. Some people wake up every morning already focused on what everybody else is doing wrong. They complain about the people around them before they have even taken responsibility for their own day. That pattern slowly becomes part of their personality. Instead of becoming wiser, they become more negative. Instead of improving their own habits, they become experts at pointing out flaws. That habit never creates a better future. It only creates frustration. A wiser approach is to ask yourself better questions. Instead of asking why someone disappointed you, ask how you can become emotionally stronger. Instead of asking why another person refuses to work hard, ask whether you gave your very best today. Instead of wondering why people fail to appreciate you, ask whether you are becoming someone you can genuinely respect. These questions bring your attention back to the one person you can actually improve. Every evening gives you an opportunity to review your own actions. Did you use your time well? Did you treat people with respect? Did you stay focused on what truly mattered? Did you keep your promises? These simple questions create self-awareness. Without self-awareness, Improvement becomes almost impossible because you cannot fix what you refuse to examine. Honest reflection is not about feeling guilty. It is about learning from today so tomorrow becomes better. Many people avoid looking at themselves because they fear what they might find. They believe admitting weakness makes them weaker. The opposite is true. A person who recognizes their weaknesses has already taken the first step toward overcoming them. Courage is not pretending to be perfect. Courage is accepting that there is still work to do and deciding to begin anyway. Every successful person has areas that need improvement. The difference is that they spend more time working on those areas than pretending they do not exist. There will always be situations where someone treats you unfairly. Life is not always balanced. You cannot stop every disappointment or every misunderstanding. But you can decide not to allow those moments to define your character. Some people become bitter because of what others did to them. Others become wiser because of what they learned from the experience. The same difficulty can produce two completely different outcomes, depending on the attitude you choose. Improving yourself also means taking responsibility for your emotional reactions. It is easy to blame anger on another person's words. It is easy to blame discouragement on difficult circumstances. Yet emotional maturity grows when you begin asking yourself why certain situations affect you so deeply. Sometimes the greatest breakthrough comes from understanding your own patterns instead of trying to change everyone else's behavior. Self-control is built one decision at a time, especially during moments when strong emotions are trying to take over. Another important lesson is learning to listen more carefully. Many arguments continue because both people are trying to win instead of trying to understand. A person who is always speaking rarely discovers anything new. Listening gives you information. Listening teaches patience. Listening allows you to see another point of view without immediately becoming defensive. That simple habit strengthens relationships and also improves your own judgment. Personal growth also requires humility. No matter how much you learn, there is always something else worth understanding. The moment you believe you have nothing left to improve is often the moment your progress begins to slow down. Stay curious. Read books that challenge your thinking. Learn from people with different experiences. Welcome correction when it helps you become better. Humility does not make you smaller. It keeps your mind open enough to continue growing. There is another benefit to focusing on yourself. Your relationships become healthier because you stop trying to control everyone around you. You stop carrying the impossible responsibility of fixing every person you meet. Instead, you become an example through your own actions. People are often influenced more by what they consistently see than by what they repeatedly hear. A calm attitude, honest work, and dependable character quietly encourage others without forcing them. When you improve yourself, your confidence begins to rest on something solid. It no longer depends on winning every disagreement or proving that someone else was wrong. It grows because you know you are making progress where it truly matters. Every better habit strengthens your foundation. Every lesson you apply increases your wisdom. Every challenge you face with patience builds resilience. Those qualities stay with you because they are part of who you have become. As the years pass, you will discover that the greatest competition was never with another person. The greatest challenge was becoming a little better than the person you were yesterday. That journey never really ends, and that is what makes it meaningful. Each new day gives you another chance to improve your thinking, strengthen your discipline, deepen your character, and make choices that honor the future you are creating. Spend less time measuring other people's lives and more time shaping your own. Stop carrying the weight of problems that were never yours to solve. Place your attention where it has the greatest power. Improve your habits. Improve your attitude. Improve your discipline. Improve your integrity. Build a life that reflects your highest values instead of your strongest complaints. When your energy is invested in becoming a better human being, your days become more purposeful, your mind becomes more peaceful, and your future becomes brighter than you ever imagined. Chapter 7. Learn to enjoy your own company first. Many people are surrounded by noise every day, yet they still feel empty when they are finally alone. The silence makes them uncomfortable. They immediately reach for their phone, turn on a video, call someone, or search for anything that fills the quiet. They are not escaping boredom. They are escaping themselves. That is a difficult truth to accept, but it is also where real change begins. If you cannot enjoy your own company, you will spend your life depending on other people to fill a space that only personal growth can fill. There is an important difference between being alone and feeling lonely. Loneliness comes from believing something valuable is missing from your life. Being alone simply means you have time with yourself. Those two experiences are not the same. A person can sit in a crowded room and still feel lonely. Another person can spend an afternoon by themselves and feel completely at peace. The difference is not the number of people around them. The difference is the relationship they have built with themselves. Think about the moments when you are by yourself. What fills your mind? Do you enjoy your own thoughts, or do you immediately search for a distraction? Your answer reveals more than you might expect. A peaceful mind is not created by accident. It is built through honest reflection, meaningful work, and living in a way that allows you to respect yourself. When you are proud of the way you are living, quiet moments stop feeling like something to avoid. They become a place where your mind can breathe. Many people fear spending time alone because they have never learned how to use that time well. They see it as empty space instead of valuable space. Yet some of the greatest personal discoveries happen when nobody else is speaking. You begin noticing your habits. You recognize the thoughts that have been controlling your decisions. You discover what truly matters to you instead of simply following what everyone else expects. That kind of clarity is difficult to find when your attention is constantly pulled in different directions. There is something powerful about sitting with a notebook and asking yourself honest questions. What kind of person am I becoming? What habits are helping me? Which habits are quietly hurting my future? What do I need to stop doing? What do I need to begin doing today? Those questions may seem simple, but they lead to meaningful answers when you give yourself enough quiet time to think instead of rushing through another busy day. Learning to enjoy your own company also teaches independence. It frees you from the constant need for approval. You stop making decisions just because everyone else is doing the same thing. You begin choosing what is right instead of what is popular. That is a sign of maturity. A strong person does not need a crowd to confirm every decision. They learn to trust the values they have carefully built through experience, discipline, and thoughtful reflection. One of the greatest gifts you can give yourself is the habit of taking regular time away from constant activity. Go for a walk without feeling the need to check your phone every few minutes. Read a book without looking for notifications. Sit quietly with a cup of coffee and simply think about your life. These moments may seem ordinary, but they strengthen your ability to focus. They remind you that your mind does not always need to be entertained. Sometimes it simply needs room to think clearly. When you become comfortable with yourself, your relationships begin to change in healthy ways. You stop expecting another person to carry the responsibility of making you happy every day. You stop becoming desperate for attention whenever you feel uncertain. Instead, you bring stability into your relationships because you are no longer asking someone else to fix what only you can build inside yourself. Healthy relationships grow stronger when both people know how to stand on their own. There will be days when people are busy with their own responsibilities. Friends may not answer immediately. Family members may have different priorities. Instead of feeling forgotten, you learn to use those moments wisely. You work on your goals. You improve your skills. You take care of your health. You organize your thoughts. What once felt like rejection becomes an opportunity for growth. Your perspective changes because you stop seeing time alone as something negative. Another lesson learned through solitude is emotional strength. Difficult emotions become easier to understand when you stop running from them. Instead of covering disappointment with endless distractions, you begin asking yourself what you can learn from it. Instead of escaping every uncomfortable feeling, you allow yourself to process it with patience. Emotional strength grows through understanding, not avoidance. Every challenge you face honestly becomes another step toward becoming a steadier person. Many people discover their greatest ideas during quiet moments. When your mind is not filled with constant noise, new thoughts have room to appear. You begin solving problems more clearly. You notice opportunities you once ignored. Your creativity improves because your attention is no longer divided in every direction. A calm mind often produces better decisions than a rushed one. That is why protecting quiet time is not wasting time. It is investing in better thinking. There is also a special kind of confidence that comes from knowing you enjoy your own company. You no longer feel pressured to stay in unhealthy relationships simply because you fear being alone. You no longer accept disrespect just to avoid silence. You begin choosing people because they add value to your life, not because you are afraid of empty space. That change protects your peace and raises your standards without making you unkind. Your daily routine becomes more meaningful when you enjoy spending time with yourself. You begin looking forward to learning something new. You appreciate moments of reflection. You celebrate small improvements instead of constantly searching for outside excitement. Life becomes richer because your happiness is no longer controlled by who is available to spend time with you. It is supported by the person you are becoming each day. Remember that the relationship you have with yourself is the one relationship that will remain with you throughout your entire life. Treat it with care. Speak to yourself with honesty, not cruelty. Correct your mistakes without giving up on yourself. Celebrate progress without becoming satisfied with staying the same. Build habits that make you proud when you are alone, because private character eventually becomes public character. As you continue this journey, stop seeing solitude as something to survive. See it as a chance to become wiser, calmer, and stronger. Fill those quiet hours with learning, reflection, meaningful work, and gratitude. The more comfortable you become with your own company, the less you will depend on constant attention from others. You will discover that peace is not found by always being surrounded by people. It is found by becoming someone you genuinely enjoy spending time with. That quiet confidence will follow you into every conversation, every relationship, and every opportunity for the rest of your life. Chapter 8. Turn quiet days into powerful life changes. There are days that feel ordinary. Nothing exciting happens. No big opportunity appears. Nobody calls with life-changing news. You wake up, follow your routine, finish your work, and go to bed. Many people believe those days do not matter. They are always waiting for something bigger. They think their future will change because of one special moment. The truth is much simpler. Your future is usually built during the quiet days that seem unimportant while you are living them. Those ordinary hours decide whether you move closer to your goals or slowly drift away from them. The world often celebrates dramatic success, but it rarely notices the long period of preparation that came before it. Every confident person once struggled with doubt. Every skilled person was once inexperienced. Every disciplined person once had to fight the habit of making excuses. The difference is that they did not waste the slow seasons. They used those days to become stronger. While others were waiting for motivation, they were building routines. While others were searching for shortcuts, they were improving one step at a time. One of the greatest mistakes you can make is believing that a quiet day is an empty day. A peaceful day gives you something many people never have enough of. It gives you space to think. It gives you time to learn. It gives you the chance to prepare before pressure arrives. Most people only begin changing after life forces them to change. A wiser person prepares before the difficult season appears. They strengthen their mind before they need strength. They improve their habits before life becomes demanding. Preparation creates confidence because you know you have been doing the work all along. Look at your daily routine with fresh eyes. Every repeated action is shaping your future, whether you notice it or not. The way you begin your morning influences your energy. The books you choose influence your thinking. The food you eat affects your health. The conversations you allow into your life shape your attitude. Nothing is neutral. Every habit is either helping you grow or quietly holding you back. That is why small choices deserve your full attention. They may seem insignificant today, but they become your lifestyle tomorrow. Do not underestimate what one focused hour can do. 1 hour spent reading teaches you something that can improve your decisions. 1 hour spent practicing a skill increases your ability. 1 hour spent organizing your plans removes confusion. 1 hour spent exercising strengthens both your body and your mind. You may not notice a dramatic difference after one day, but after months of consistent effort, you become someone completely different. The change happens because you respected the value of ordinary time. Many people become discouraged because they measure progress the wrong way. They expect immediate rewards. If results arrive slowly, they assume their effort is failing. Real improvement does not always announce itself. Sometimes patience is growing even before your circumstances improve. Sometimes your discipline becomes stronger before your income increases. Sometimes your thinking changes before your opportunities expand. The invisible improvements are often preparing you for the visible ones. Never stop working simply because the reward has not appeared yet. Quiet days also teach consistency. It is easy to stay committed when everything feels exhausting. It is much harder to remain faithful to your routine when life feels ordinary, yet that is exactly where lasting character is developed. Anyone can work hard for one inspired weekend. The real challenge is showing up on a normal Tuesday when nothing feels special. Success belongs to people who continue moving forward, even when the day looks exactly like yesterday. There is another advantage to peaceful seasons. They allow you to notice details you usually miss. You begin paying attention to the way you spend your time. You recognize which habits deserve to stay and which ones need to disappear. You discover where your attention has been leaking into unnecessary activities. This awareness gives you the chance to make adjustments before small problems become large ones. A thoughtful life is rarely built through constant rushing. It is built through careful observation followed by steady action. Instead of asking yourself how quickly you can reach your goal, ask yourself how faithfully you can improve today. That question removes unnecessary pressure. It shifts your attention from distant outcomes to present responsibilities. Every meaningful achievement is connected to what you choose to do now. Today's effort becomes tomorrow's confidence. Today's discipline becomes tomorrow's opportunity. Your future begins taking shape long before anyone else can see it. Some people spend quiet days complaining that nothing is happening. Others spend those same days preparing for what is coming. The difference between those two people becomes obvious over time. One waits for life to improve on its own. The other quietly becomes the kind of person who is ready when opportunity arrives. Luck may open a door, but preparation determines whether you are ready to walk through it. Do not be afraid of slow seasons. A slower pace often gives you the chance to strengthen areas of your life that have been neglected. Improve your communication. Learn how to manage your money more wisely. Read books that stretch your thinking. Develop patience. Build healthier routines. These are not exciting headlines, but they are the building blocks of a stable and meaningful life. They help you become someone who can handle greater responsibility without losing balance. One beautiful quality of consistent effort is that it builds trust within yourself. Every time you complete the work you promised yourself you would do, you strengthen your belief that you can depend on your own word. That trust becomes valuable during difficult moments because you no longer wonder whether you will give up. You already know your answer. Your daily actions have proven it again and again. You also begin noticing that peace grows alongside discipline. Your mind becomes less scattered because your days have direction. You stop feeling guilty about wasted time because you know you invested it wisely. You sleep with greater satisfaction because your effort matched your intentions. That quiet satisfaction is far more rewarding than temporary excitement. It comes from knowing that your life is moving forward even if the progress is not yet visible to everyone else. There will always be people chasing constant excitement. They mistake activity for achievement. They fill every moment with noise because silence feels uncomfortable. Choose a different path. Welcome the ordinary days. Respect the quiet mornings. Value the evenings when you can reflect, learn, and prepare. Those moments are not interruptions to your success. They are the place where your success is quietly being built. As the years pass, you will realize that your greatest breakthroughs were not created during a single extraordinary event. They were created through hundreds of ordinary days that you refuse to waste. Every page you read, every healthy decision you made, every skill you practiced, every promise you kept, and every hour you invested in becoming a better person added something valuable to your life. While others waited for dramatic change, you used quiet days to shape an extraordinary future. That is how lasting success is built, one faithful day at a time. Chapter 9. Become too strong to chase anyone again. There comes a point in life when you realize that constantly chasing people has been costing you more than you ever imagined. It did not only take your time. It took your confidence. It took your focus. It made you question your value every time someone ignored you, walked away, or failed to appreciate what you offered. You kept believing that if you tried a little harder, gave a little more, or changed yourself a little more, everything would finally work out. But the truth is that no amount of chasing can create a healthy connection with someone who has already decided not to walk beside you. The strongest decision you can make is to stop running after what refuses to stay and begin becoming someone who stands firmly on their own. Strength is often misunderstood. Many people think strength means speaking louder, winning arguments, or proving everyone wrong. Real strength is much quieter than that. It is the ability to accept reality without allowing it to destroy your peace. It is the ability to respect yourself enough to stop begging for attention that should have been given freely. It is choosing dignity over desperation. That decision changes the direction of your life because it shifts your energy away from convincing people and toward building yourself. Think about how many times disappointment has taught you something valuable. Every broken promise showed you the importance of depending on your own discipline. Every unanswered message reminded you that your happiness cannot be built around another person's response. Every relationship that ended forced you to discover strengths you never knew you possessed. Pain is never pleasant, but if you are willing to learn from it, it can become one of your greatest teachers. The lesson is not to stop caring about people. The lesson is to stop making your entire future depend on them. Many people remain emotionally trapped because they keep revisiting the past. They replay old conversations. They imagine different endings. They wonder what they could have done differently. While their mind stays busy looking backward, life continues moving forward. The future cannot be built by constantly returning to yesterday. You honor your future by learning the lesson and continuing the journey. Holding on to old disappointment only delays the growth that is waiting for you. There is a powerful difference between wanting companionship and needing validation. Healthy relationships are built through mutual respect, honesty, and shared values. They are not built through fear of being alone. When you become emotionally stronger, you stop accepting less than you deserve, simply because you fear losing someone. Your standards rise because your self-respect rises. You begin choosing relationships that add peace to your life instead of confusion. That change protects your heart and your future. One of the greatest signs of maturity is learning when to stop trying. There are situations where another conversation will not solve the problem. Another explanation will not change a person's heart. Another sacrifice will not suddenly earn respect. Wisdom teaches you to recognize those moments. Walking away from unhealthy situations is not giving up. It is choosing your well-being over endless frustration. Sometimes the bravest step forward is the one that leads you away from what has been holding you back. Building inner strength requires daily practice. It is developed through keeping your promises even when nobody is checking. It grows every time you complete a difficult task instead of choosing comfort. It becomes stronger when you control your emotions instead of allowing every situation to control you. These quiet victories reshape your identity. You begin trusting yourself because your actions repeatedly prove that you are dependable. Confidence earned through discipline lasts much longer than confidence built on compliments. There will always be people who misunderstand your decision to step back. Some may believe you have changed. Others may think you have become distant. The truth is much simpler. You have learned the difference between protecting your peace and seeking approval. You no longer feel responsible for carrying relationships that only move in one direction. Healthy connections require effort from both people. When only one person keeps carrying the weight, exhaustion becomes inevitable. Strength means recognizing that truth before it steals years from your life. Another important part of becoming stronger is learning to enjoy progress more than attention. Attention disappears quickly. Progress stays with you. Every new skill becomes part of who you are. Every lesson improves your judgment. Every healthy habit strengthens your future. These are achievements that nobody can take away from you. They continue paying rewards. Long after applause has faded, invest your energy in things that grow your character instead of your popularity. Forgiveness also becomes part of strength. Holding anger for years does not punish the other person. It only fills your own mind with unnecessary weight. Forgiveness does not mean pretending the hurt never happened. It means refusing to let that hurt control the rest of your life. You release the burden because your future deserves your full attention. Carrying yesterday's pain into every tomorrow prevents you from fully embracing the opportunities waiting ahead. As you become stronger, your conversations begin to change. You spend less time discussing people and more time discussing ideas. You become interested in learning instead of complaining. You begin asking better questions. How can I improve? What can I learn? Where should I invest my time? These questions create a completely different direction for your life because they place responsibility where it belongs. They remind you that lasting change begins with your own choices. Strength also means becoming comfortable with patience. You stop rushing to fill every empty space with another relationship or another distraction. You understand that a meaningful life is built carefully. Good friendships take time. Strong character takes time. Valuable skills take time. Lasting success takes time. Instead of fearing the process, you begin respecting it. Every season becomes an opportunity to grow, instead of another reason to feel discouraged. There is something deeply peaceful about no longer feeling the need to chase anyone. You wake up with a clear mind because your energy is no longer scattered. You spend your days improving your work, your health, your thinking, and your habits. You stop measuring your worth by who stays or who leaves. Your identity becomes rooted in the person you are becoming rather than the opinions of people around you. That kind of stability creates a quiet confidence that can be seen without needing to be announced. Imagine looking back a few years from now. You remember the person who once chased acceptance, feared rejection, and believed every closed door was the end of the story. Then you look at the person you have become. You stand taller because your confidence is built on character. You think more clearly because your focus is no longer divided. You make wiser decisions because experience has taught you what truly matters. You no longer run after people, hoping they will complete your life. You have built a life that reflects discipline, self-respect, purpose, and peace. From that place of strength, the right people will recognize your value, not because you chased them, but because you finally became someone who never needed to. Chapter 10. Let your new life speak for you. Take a moment and think about the person you were when this journey began. There was a time when you looked outside yourself for answers. You waited for people to understand you. You hoped someone would recognize your effort. You believed that if others accepted you, life would finally feel complete. But every lesson you have learned has been leading you toward one simple truth. The greatest change in your life does not happen when people finally notice you. It happens when you finally become the person you promised yourself you would be. From that moment forward, your life begins telling your story better than your words ever could. Many people spend years trying to explain who they are. They explain their dreams, their intentions, and their potential. They want others to believe in what they might become one day. But there is a better way to earn respect. Become so dependable that your actions remove the need for long explanations. Become so disciplined that your daily routine answers every question. Become so consistent that people trust what you do more than what you say. A strong reputation is not built through impressive conversations. It is built through choices, repeated faithfully over time. One day, someone who has not seen you for years may notice something different about you. They may not know why your attitude feels calmer or why your confidence seems more natural. They may wonder why you no longer react to every small problem. They may notice that you listen more carefully, speak more thoughtfully, and carry yourself with greater peace. Those changes did not happen because you tried to impress anyone. They happened because you quietly changed your habits, while everyone else was busy watching something else. Real transformation always begins long before it becomes visible. Your new life should not be built around proving people wrong. That goal is too small. If your success depends on making someone regret losing you or doubting you, then they are still controlling part of your future. Build something greater than that. Build a life that makes you proud when nobody is looking. Build a character that allows you to sleep peacefully at night, because you know you lived with honesty. Build a future that reflects your values instead of your past disappointments. That kind of success belongs to you. Nobody else gets to define it. One of the greatest rewards of personal growth is the freedom it creates. You stop carrying the pressure of trying to impress everyone. You stop worrying about whether every decision will be understood. You become comfortable, allowing your work to develop quietly. That freedom gives your mind room to focus on what truly matters. Instead of chasing approval, you chase excellence. Instead of seeking attention, you seek wisdom. Instead of comparing yourself with everyone around you, you become committed to making today's version of yourself better than yesterday's. Remember that people are always paying attention to something, but they do not always notice words. They notice consistency. They notice reliability. They notice kindness that does not expect anything in return. They notice someone who remains calm during difficult moments. They notice someone who keeps improving without making excuses. Those qualities cannot be copied for one afternoon. They become visible only after they have become part of your everyday life. Your character quietly introduces you before you ever say a single sentence. Do not become discouraged if your progress seems slow. Lasting change rarely arrives all at once. It grows through hundreds of ordinary decisions. Every morning you choose discipline over delay. You strengthen your future. Every time you remain honest when dishonesty would be easier, you strengthen your character. Every time you continue learning, instead of pretending you know everything, you strengthen your wisdom. Those decisions may seem small while you are making them, but together they create a completely different life. There will always be people who remember the old version of you. They may expect you to react the way you once did. They may remind you of mistakes you have already learned from. Do not become frustrated by that. People often remember your history because they have not seen your daily effort. Continue living according to the values you have chosen. Time has a remarkable way of revealing genuine change. Eventually, your consistency becomes impossible to ignore. The person you are today will speak louder than the person you used to be. Never allow success to make you careless. Growth is not something you achieve once and then forget. It is a lifelong responsibility. Keep reading, Keep learning, keep improving your health. Keep strengthening your relationships through honesty and respect. Keep protecting your time. Keep managing your emotions wisely. The moment you believe there is nothing left to improve is often the moment your progress begins to slow. Stay teachable, stay grateful, stay committed to becoming a better human being than you were last year. Your greatest achievement will never be the money you earn, the title you hold, or the praise you receive. Those things can come and go. The greatest achievement is becoming someone who can be trusted in every season of life. Someone who keeps their word. Someone who remains steady during hardship. Someone who chooses responsibility instead of excuses. Someone who brings encouragement instead of negativity. These qualities create a legacy that reaches far beyond temporary success. They influence your family, your friends, your community, and every person who has the privilege of knowing you. There is also great peace in knowing you no longer need to convince anyone of your value. You wake up with purpose because your direction is clear. You spend your energy building instead of proving. You protect your attention because you understand how valuable it is. You stop chasing what was never meant for you and begin appreciating what you are creating with your own hands. That peace cannot be purchased. It is earned through years of choosing growth over comfort and responsibility over excuses. As you continue walking forward, remember that every choice still matters. Every conversation shapes your thinking. Every habit shapes your future. Every decision either strengthens your character or weakens it. Never believe that one small action is too insignificant to matter. The person you become is built one choice at a time. Great lives are not created by accident. They are created by ordinary people making extraordinary commitments to live with discipline, integrity, patience, and purpose. If someone asks what changed in your life, you do not need a long speech. Your calm mind will answer. Your stronger habits will answer. The way you manage challenges will answer. The respect you show others will answer. The peace in your daily life will answer. The confidence that comes from keeping promises to yourself will answer. Your new life becomes the message. It becomes the evidence that quiet effort was never wasted. While others searched for quick attention, you chose lasting growth. While others waited for someone else to change their life, you accepted responsibility for your own. That decision changed everything. It gave you a future built on character instead of approval, purpose instead of distraction, and inner strength instead of constant validation. From this point forward, allow your life to speak with honesty, consistency, and quiet excellence, because that is the strongest message you will ever leave behind.